Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about our friend Johann Sebastian Bach. So let's get started. So from 1740 to 1748, our friend Bach copied and performed music in an older style. His personal musical style changed in the last 10 years of his life. His fourth and last book, called The Goldberg Variations, which is actually a piece we listened to in the first week that we learned about him, was written for two harpsichords, which was an instrument we also learned about in the beginning of learning about him, and had 9 pieces in it. The book was published in 1741. Bach also really liked the style of musicians like Handel. In May of 1747, our friend Bach visited the king in a neighboring town. The king played a theme and asked Bach to make up a piece of music on the spot based off of the king's theme that he played. He was able to play a 3-part piece of music on one of the king's Forte pianos, which was a new instrument at the time. We'll learn about that in a second. And when Bach went back home to Leipzig, he wrote a lot more music. So let's learn about the Forte piano. You might ask, what is that? Well, this looks very similar to the piano that we know today, but it was created much sooner than the piano we know of today. So let's talk about it a little bit. So the Forte piano is the early version of the piano as we know it today. The word Forte piano is any piano from the creation of the instrument, so from the very beginning, by a guy named Bartolomeo Cristofori around 1700, up to the early 19th century. And Haydn, Mozart, and the younger Beethoven wrote their piano music on this instrument. Starting with Beethoven's time, the Forte piano began to become quite popular, which helped create the grand piano we know today. Notice how different they look if you take a look. So the difference is the keys are dark, the main keys that we use here, and the lighter keys right now typically are the other way around. So normally what we would see the white keys to be on this particular Forte piano are normally black on our regular piano. And then the opposite is true for the white keys, or in this case, the black keys. So the black keys are usually white in our regular pianos that are newer, and these white keys are also black that we know them today. So they flip the colors basically. But the makeup of it is very similar. It looks very, very similar. It has strings, which has the same type of sound that we know of as piano today too. So just kind of wanted to point that out a little bit here. Okay, so one of his last pieces that he wrote in 1749 is called the Mass in B minor, which became very popular. He passed away July 28th of 1750 at 65 years old. And Bach is known as one of the 3 B's of classical music. He's one of the many famous composers that still has music that's performed today all over the world in many popular places, like the Walt Disney Concert Hall in LA, all the way to Carnegie Hall in New York. And the photo on the right that we can see here is a statue monument made of him in Eisenach, Germany, which is the city that he was born in. So if you ever go to Germany, you might be able to see it. But I just wanted to show that to you to let you know that they ended up making a statue of him, which I thought was pretty cool. Alrighty, so we're going to learn about the Mass in B minor just a little bit before we jump into the piece itself. So this is one of Bach's last musical pieces, and he finished that in 1749. And a lot of this Mass that he wrote gave a new style from the vocal musical style that he wrote during his career in the past, starting all the way back in 1714. But he rewrote his music a lot, his own music a lot. So I'm going to have us take a listen to a very short piece of it. And I want you to pay attention to the different instruments that you see. You'll see all kinds of stuff from a bassoon to flute to stringed instruments like the cello and the violin. You'll also see a lot of singers as well. So take a look and see if you can see those instruments that I mentioned as we listen. Here we go. Okay, so I didn't want to make it too long so that we don't get too sleepy listening to music. It's on the slower side. So I just wanted to kind of give you a quick little short piece to kind of get an idea of what it sounds like. It's much longer than this. So I just wanted to, like I said, give you a short little example of what it sounds like. So I hope you thought it was a pretty tune. I think it's a very pretty tune. It's not the fastest, but it's definitely lots of fun to listen to if you enjoy that type of music. So I figured I'd show you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening along with me and learning about our friend Bach, and I'll see you next time.